Hey guys, I'm Jill Powell and I am here today with my neighbor Jade and my good friend, and I'm super excited because I've been wanting to work on her gorgeous face, and so we created this beautiful kind of smoky gold, bronzy, natural but not natural look with a winged liner and some lashes. So if you want to learn how to look exactly like Jade and have this beautiful look, stay tuned and watch this video. Okay, so Jade has a gorgeous complexion already, so we are going to show you a beautiful eye look. And just looking at her, I can't help but want to do some sort of like amazing gold, bronzy, smoky, fiery, something or other. I don't know what's gonna come out of this because I kind of just go with what I do, but I have to do it. So check this out. This is going to be super fun, and we're going to create this gorgeous something with gold. I know it's going to be gold. I always start out with a primer. So today I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup Eye Pigment as a primer. So this pigment is super waterproof, long wearing, and just amazing. So this color is a little bit more of like a pink tone, but it's totally fine because we are going to cover everything up with shadows. But you can wear this alone or you can wear it as a base. It's got a tiny bit of shimmer in it, but it seriously is like super long wearing, super waterproof, and very amazing. So I'm using a flat synthetic brush. I usually like to apply my eyeshadow primers with a flat synthetic brush. I just find that it gives a really nice sheer consistency and kind of even layer all over. So from your lash all the way up to your brow, blending it in as you go, nice and soft. You don't want to put too much. This is not like the more you put on, the longer it stays. Definitely not. Just sheer layer is all you need just to make the shadow stick. So I am using a new palette I just got. This is the W7 Life's a Peach. It's got some really great neutrals in here. So this one's called Delicious. And it is delicious, I think. It's just a beautiful, like natural, perfect transition color for the crease. So I am starting out and using a fluffy, natural bristled blending brush. And I'm just kind of creating shape on her eyes. Really light touch. I like to do a light touch when I'm doing the crease because I typically use for like this application something with a point to it. And if you press too hard, then you're losing that. So light touch is all you need. Creating shape, and I'm kind of windshield wiper motion back and forth all the way across from the outer corners of her eye all the way to that inner corner. Just creating dimension and carving that out. And this is acting as our transition color and just starting to create that depth on the eye. So go ahead and open. Yeah. Pretty color on you. Same thing on the other side. So windshield wiper motion. I do a little bit of circular motions if I need to blend as well. But right now I'm kind of getting a little bit more of that just back and forth because I want this to start defining her crease. And then this one has this color Cream. So let's try that underneath the brow. It's a nice matte kind of bone color just to define her brow. And this is a new Smashbox brush. This is the Angled Shadow. So I get a tiny bit on, and as you can see, I tap it off. That way I don't have any fallout. Just kind of starting under the arch of the brow and just defining right under the brow. Let's go back in. I think I'm going to kind of create a smoky look. So let's try, I'm going to take Ripe and Juicy first. This one looks kind of like a reddish orange, and I'm going to start defining her crease even more. So this one's a little bit darker than Delirious. And it's all about layering here. So this is kind of creating a little bit more defined, but I'm layering it with that Delirious. So Delirious is on the outer edges. This is a little bit more defined. And then now I'm going to go in with this Pit Stop color, which is a matte, kind of charcoaly brown, espresso brown. And I am actually going to lift a tiny bit right here because I don't want this color to come up too high, and I want to get it right where I want it. So by lifting, typically I don't lift the eye because I like to place things where I want them, but this will get it and make sure that I don't go over the colors that I just did. I want to just keep defining this crease without covering up those kind of like orangier browns. So we're creating this gradation from light to dark, defining her crease. And if you can see, I'm doing these sheer layers. I'm building as I go. This one is MAC 217, so it's just like a kind of small blending brush. So I'm blending, but it's also placing really nicely because it's not super big. And I am just kind of carving out this shape. And then open for me. Ooh, I like it. I get excited when I like something. Okay, so I'm going to keep going here. And I'm just going to keep defining this crease little by little until I get the desired depth. Okay, we're going to continue on the other side. Same thing, just a slight lift. Get right in there, just to make sure I'm applying this exactly where I want it. Okay, these colors are so exciting. I really like it. Okay, so this is where a lot of people will do a cut crease, so you can put some concealer on there and really define that crease. I am not gonna do a cut crease today. You guys can see that all over YouTube. They're everywhere. I can definitely do one if you wanna see one at some point, but on this look, I kinda wanna keep it naturally flowing. So if I were to do a cut crease, this is where I would take concealer and look down or close, and I would cut into right here and define that line and then apply, do the same thing over here, and then apply a lighter shimmery shadow on top of that just to create that really nice strict line. I'm gonna do more of a diffuse line just so you can see a more natural approach to that. So I am bringing in my Anastasia palette, and I think I want to use Steampunk, which is a gorgeous gold. And I'm going to start in the center of her lid and just kind of build it. I'm using a very small shader brush. And I'm kind of doing, I guess, like a soft cut crease. I am keeping it really defined as far as placement, but I am not using that concealer underneath to create like that really strict line. So a little bit different. And then open. Ah, that's so exciting. I love it when I love a color. So just packing that right along the lash line. And then defining her lid. And I'm using really like small, I'm not lifting up a lot. I'm almost dragging my brush along her eye, but I'm pressing and pulling at the same time, drawing on where I want the placement on her lid. Softly blending outwards because I'm going to create a little bit of diffusion on the outer part of the eye, the outer corners. Okay, so I am loving what's going on, but I just want to add more smokiness. Who doesn't want more smokiness? I don't know. I always want more smokiness. So we are going to go in with Dystopian from this palette, which is also like a matte charcoal brown, but it's like that really smoky, almost like black brown. And I'm going to kind of create some definition on the outer corners of her eye just to smoke it out even more. And then open. Makes me happy. Makes me happy. I'm taking a little bit of the color we did for her crease as well as a tiny bit of Dystopian And I'm just going to blend those together so that we get that fun smokiness on the outer corners. Blended. And then open. Yep, that's what I wanted. Okay, same thing on the other side. Just chin towards me a little bit more. There you go. And this is the LCE5. It's like that pencil brush, as I call them, because you just draw it right on. So I'm drawing it on the outer corner of her lid, right at her lash line, using small, kind of short strokes. Going back in with my MAC 217, placing it right in that corner, and I grabbed a tiny bit of that crease color from the other palette, and then just a touch of that dystopian to blend them together and create some smokiness on the outer corner. Go ahead and open. Just gonna make sure it's nice and blended, circular motions, a little bit of back and forth, but pretty much just diffusing this outward to create that nice smoky. I don't like my lines to be too strict, so it's a great way to blend, kind of diffusing it all. Whatever is left on my brush is what I'm using, so not applying any more color, but just diffusing what I've got. And open. I like it. I'm gonna do some top liner and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do on the bottom. And somebody in one of my videos suggested the Inglot cream gel liner. And I had used it many, many years ago and then kind of forgot about it. So I went and bought it. Honestly, I think it was Adam Camacho. So if it was you, good for you. Thank you, because I am now obsessed with this. This stuff does not move. I used it on a music video the other day. Holy cow. It literally stayed put. We shot until 3 o'clock in the morning and it was like a main eyeliner look and everything transferred on like her upper lid. It did not transfer. It did not move. I did like inner corner crazy stuff. It did not move. She cried. It did not move. So if you're a makeup artist or if you want your gel liner, black eyeliner, whatever, to stay, you need to check out this Inglot one. I am super impressed. I only pulled back a corner of it to hopefully keep it so it doesn't dry out as fast. So I'm gonna grab some product, get it on the back of my hand, and I'm using a bent liner brush. This one is by Sigma. It's the Sigma Bent Liner. It's the B12. And we are just going to line her top lash line. So I'm gonna drag it along right above her lashes. Get that inner corner. I'm not sure how I want to end it yet. Let me see, open. Do you do a wing usually? She can handle a wing, that's why. And I actually can do a little bit thicker than that. So I start out small and we can add to it. So go ahead and close again. She can handle a decent amount of liner. She's got a lot of eye space. And open. Okay, and then stay open and look straight. I don't always talk during my wings because I need to concentrate. And then just look down. So I'm going to smooth everything. She can kind of handle a little bit thicker, so you see? So she can do she can do multiple different types of wings. I kind of did like a straight out wing. But she could definitely handle like a swoopy wing or whatever. I don't know. What do you typically do?
Just a straight out wing.
Straight out wing?
The only thing I know how to do.
So, yeah. Do you use like a liquid liner or gel liner?
Yes, a liquid liner.
A liquid liner? Yeah. Oh, that's fun. I like it. Okay, so we're gonna do the other side, and I'm probably not gonna talk as much because that's my harder side. I can't see that side as well. So. The reason why I like this bent liner brush too is because you can really get in that inner corner. It's already bent for you. So manipulate how you're holding it to benefit you. And on yourself, same thing. Okay, so we have finished our wing liner. That Inglot liner does not move. I made a tiny bit of a mistake. Woo, that stuff is on there. So I fixed it, we are good. We have our wing liner. And now I feel she needs just a tiny bit on the bottom, nothing too crazy. We're gonna throw some lashes on her because who doesn't love a gorgeous pair of lashes? And we're gonna finish this look. I really love what's going on so far. So let's keep it going. Okay, so I am going to, go ahead and look up for me. I'm going to apply a waterproof pencil along the bottom because I wanna do some shadows. And when I do shadows along the bottom, I like them to stay. So I like using like a lighter waterproof pencil. This one's a gold pencil by Sephora Collection. They're 12-hour waterproof. And then that way when I place the shadows on top, they really stick and they don't budge. Okay, so for the bottom, I am going to start out with this, I'm gonna start out with Delicious, which is the original color we did in her crease. And I'm gonna put this along the very bottom. So I'm not really close to her lash line. I'm a little bit further down because I want to create this like smoky effect along the bottom. And it's not super dark, so it's just going to create a nice transition. I'm just going right along the bottom. I'm using a small blending brush. This one's by Morphe. It is the M506. And I'm just kind of softly blending that out. Then I'm going to go in with the Morphe M515. This one is like the lip defining brush, I think. And let's go in with Ripe and Juicy, which we also used on the top. I do like to pull in the same colors so that it matches. And we're going to layer that in. Again, right on top of that gold, but allowing the Delicious color, that first color, to be the bottom transition color. And just turn towards me a little bit. So I'm going right under the lashes, right on top of that gold liner, and just creating that smoky effect. I do want to pull this steampunk color in. And I'm going to do that right on this inner corner, just to highlight. Pretty much right under the tear duct. I'm using the same brush over and over again, just kind of wiping it off. Then we're going to go in with Pearl, which is like a highlighting color. I'm just going to get that inner corner of her eye. It's always fun to have a little brightness on the inner corner. This one is definitely very shimmery, a little bit more like flaky of a color, so you want to use it a little bit at a time so you don't get it all over. That's super pretty as a highlight. I'm going to go in with, this one is the NARS Larger Than Life Pencil in Via Appia, and I'm going to go in right at the roots of her lashes just to create some definition. I don't necessarily know if I want to do the full waterline yet. I'm going to get some lashes on there first before I make that decision. But I'm going to go into the roots of her lashes just to define them. All right, let's get some lashes on there. Okay, so I jumped ahead and put on a pair of lashes as well as put on a lip. This is the new lipstick from Becca and Chloe Malika called Yours Truly. So everything just kind of goes together. We did do some bottom mascara as well, that Lancome Monsieur Big I just put along the bottom lash line. So this is the look, it's all complete. And just to recap, so that you know, we did the Milk Makeup Eye Pigment as the eyeshadow primer. I went ahead and used two different palettes. So we did the Peachy palette, W7 Life's a Peach palette. We used the colors Delicious in her crease as well as Ripe and Juicy. And then in these outer corners, I did Pit Stop. And then on her lid, we did Steampunk. And a little bit underneath of all of those, I did use some Dystopian in the outer corners as well to smoke those out. And the very inner corner highlight is Pearl from the Sultry palette Anastasia. And we did the Via Appia liner from NARS in her waterline, well, kind of along her bottom lash line, not quite her waterline. I just wanted to make those lashes stand out a little bit more. We did a pair of Ardell Wispies on her eyes, as well as the Inglot liner as her winged liner, using that bent liner brush. And underneath her bottom lash line, we did the Sephora Collection Gold Waterproof Liner, just to make sure that all the shadows we did on top of it set. And then we did those shadows that we did along the top, along the bottom, to create that nice smoky look, and finished off with that inner corner highlight. So, and then her lips, and this is a done look, and she has got to go out tonight because she looks good. Thanks again for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below what you want to see next. All of the products used in my video are also linked below. And if you want to see more, follow me anywhere at Jill Powell Glam. Thanks again.